Imagine you're wedging into 34A, convinced you've seen every inch of the cabin. Unbeknownst to you, one passenger, no headphones, no drink, no overhead bag, might be the federal air marshal. And that roar you hear right after touchdown? It's not just the tires, it's a secret mechanism that helps the plane stay in one piece. Today, we're yanking open the curtain on that secret and 14 others the gate agent will never mention. Air marshals love the back rows. Aisle, opposite sides, always the last to board. They skip the in-flight Chardonnay, never nap, and read the safety card like it's the season finale. If you spot someone who looks wide awake while everyone else is scrolling Instagram, congrats! You may have found one. Airlines won't tell you which flight has them, but the pattern's as predictable as pretzels in coach. Those yellow masks don't plug into scuba tanks. Yank the cord and you ignite a chemical oxygen generator. Picture a tiny campfire that cranks out 12 minutes of O2. It gets hot enough to brand a marshmallow, which is why the demo says help yourself first. Flight attendants don't want you grabbing a blazing mask. Look up at the overhead bin. See that groove running underneath? Flight attendants grab it like a subway pole when the ride gets bumpy. You can too. No announcement, no sign. Just reach up next time the captain forgets to warn you about a rogue cloud. So, you know that stiff outer armrest on the aisle seat? If you run your finger under the plastic, you'll feel a tiny button. Just press it while lifting and voila! The armrest pops up flush with the seat back. That's an instant 3-inch bonus, and honestly, a much cleaner escape route. Funny thing is, the crew never points it out. Most folks just assume it's welded shut. A 350S and 787S actually carry programmable LEDs that can fake a full sunrise to sunset cycle. Airlines have quietly cut jet lag complaints by about 20%, and then they market it as mood lighting. But, tell passengers you're hacking their circadian rhythm with a light bulb and, well, ticket sales tank. Ever need to fit an entire Formula One car or maybe a wind turbine blade? The 747 freighter can hinge its nose upward, kind of like a dinosaur yawning. Passenger airlines don't advertise it, because honestly, nobody wants to explain why your emotional support grand piano can't come through the front door. Ever feel that roar right after the wheels touch down? That isn't just the tires, it's the engine braking the plane. Huge panels on the jet engine slide open, blocking the normal airflow and redirecting the thrust forward to slow the aircraft down. It's called thrust reversal, and it helps a 500,000-pound machine decelerate safely. They don't mention it in the safety card because the idea of engines working the wrong way on purpose can be unnerving. Despite the name, flight data recorders are painted hot orange so rescue crews can spot them in wreckage. Each one laughs at 3,400 Gs, 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit for an hour, and 30 days underwater. Invincible orange crash-proof capsule just doesn't fit on the label. Airplane tires hit 170 miles per hour on touchdown haul 500,000 pounds and still last up to 400 landings. They're laced with aluminum powder to zap static electricity. Mechanics swap them like changing shoes, but most of us think they're the same rubber as our Honda Civic. So, that tiny dot in the middle pane? Well, it actually equalizes pressure so the outer pane doesn't, turn into confetti at 35,000 feet. Without it, every flight could pop like a shaken soda. Airlines usually skip the detail because honestly, explosive decompression isn't exactly the best in-flight movie. Yep, your plane has a horn. Used only on the ground, and it honestly sounds like a grumpy tugboat. Pilots press it to warn baggage carts, not to honk at the 747 hogging the taxiway. You'll never hear it unless you're standing by the fence at sunrise, just kind of wondering why the jet just beeped at a fuel truck. On long-haul flights, have you ever wondered where the crew disappears to? They're definitely not crammed in a jump seat. On planes like the Boeing 777 and 787, there's a secret staircase hidden behind an unmarked door that leads to a tiny windowless bedroom. Up there, you'll find between 6 and 10 cramped bunks for the crew to sleep in shifts. Airlines keep these Narnia-style closets off the passenger tour. It's a perk they'd really rather you didn't know you were missing. Hey, have you ever noticed the ashtray in the lavatory, even on a brand new plane? It's honestly like the final boss of confusing rules. Smoking is totally illegal, but the FAA actually mandates that ashtrays must be there. The reason's pretty simple. They know some people will break the rule and, well, They'd rather a lawbreaker stub out their illegal cigarette safely than toss it in the paper-filled trash can and accidentally start a fire. That lavatory door. It's really not as private as you might think. Flight attendants can unlock it from the outside in an emergency, just so you know. There's a tiny switch hidden right under the metal lavatory plaque on the door. If you flip it up, it reveals a little mechanism to slide the lock open. It's there in case a passenger has a medical issue or gets stuck. But honestly, the crew isn't exactly keen on advertising the fact that your private business has a secret entrance. Behind the cockpit door, pilots actually have access to a crash axe. It's an FAA requirement on many planes, just in case of emergencies. Its job isn't really about fending off sky pirates or anything wild like that, but to help cut through panels in case of an electrical fire, or to create an escape route if the exit is blocked. Airlines don't exactly put axe on board in the brochure, and for some obvious and slightly terrifying reasons. So there you go. Air-Marshal's oxygen campfires, secret handrails, stealth armrest buttons, LED mind hacks, dinosaur nose freighters, engines that brake in reverse orange-black boxes, superhero tires, a horn you'll never hear mid-flight, secret bedrooms, confusing ashtrays, bathroom back doors, and a cockpit axe. Which one are you walking straight to the galley to test next time? Drop it in the comments, send this to the anxious flyer in your group chat, and hit subscribe. Next week we're explaining why airplane coffee tastes like it was brewed in a gym sock.
Airplanes are one of the most advanced ways to travel. But let's be honest, most people still don't know half the secrets. The ones that make flying easier, cleaner, and more comfortable. So whether it's your first flight or your 100th, here are 7 simple air travel tips you'll wish someone told you sooner. Let's start with something chilly. Literally. Window seats are great for the view. But did you know they're also noticeably colder? The air outside the plane can drop to minus 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That external cold transfers through the plane's walls. And the window seats? They get the worst of it, especially during summer when you're dressed light. If you love sitting by the window, layer up. Or just ask the crew for a blanket. Simple fix. Major comfort upgrade. Next, let's talk about what you're drinking. Hot drinks like coffee or tea? You might want to skip them. Here's why. The water used to make them often isn't clean. It comes from tanks that are rarely sanitized properly. Studies found E. coli and staph bacteria in that water. Some flight attendants refuse to drink it themselves, so if they're avoiding it, maybe you should too. Instead, ask for bottled water or juice. Much safer, much smarter. Here's something you probably don't want to hear. The dirtiest spots on the entire plane? They're not the bathrooms, they're the tray tables and seatback pockets. Yeah, those pockets in front of you? They're full of trash from previous passengers, used tissues, food wrappers, random junk, and tray tables. Flight attendants say people actually change diapers on them. Diapers. So do yourself a favor. Bring disinfectant wipes, keep your stuff in your bag, and never, never put food directly on the tray. If you get to pick your flight time, always go with a morning flight. Here's why. Delays stack up as the day goes on. The earlier you fly, the fewer problems from ripple effect delays. It's also smoother in the air. Morning flights usually hit less turbulence, so if you hate bumpy rides or running late, fly early. You'll thank yourself. Let's talk seats. Not just legroom or views, but service. If you sit toward the back of the plane, you might actually get better attention from the crew. Why? Because it's easier for them to offer extras discreetly. Snacks, drinks, even blankets. They can help you without everyone else seeing. Up front, everything has to look equal. In the back, it's VIP treatment, without anyone knowing. Sure, you'll deplane later, but you might get treated better while you're on board. Got a travel pillow? Awesome, but don't inflate it all the way. Cabin pressure changes mid-flight, and if your neck pillow's pumped to the max, it might actually burst, or just get really uncomfortable. Leave a little air inside, just enough to support your neck without turning it into a balloon. Comfy, safe, smart. Let's talk airplane food. Most people just accept the standard meal, chicken or pasta. But did you know you can choose a special meal in advance? Vegetarian, kosher, seafood, gluten-free. And here's the kicker. They're usually better, often fresher, served before the regular meals, and sometimes way more flavorful. You don't need a dietary restriction to request one. Just choose it when you check in online. Free upgrade, no strings attached, more choice, better food, easy win. Shorts might seem like the comfy choice, but the cabin seats? Not exactly clean. Hundreds of people sit on them every week, and most airlines don't deep clean in between flights. Your bare skin is touching whatever the last person left behind. Not to mention sudden temperature drops mid-air. Trust me, jeans or joggers are your best bet. Stay clean, stay warm, stay sane. Flying internationally? Here's one thing people forget every single time. A pen. You'll need to fill out customs forms, entry cards, and declarations. And when the flight attendants hand them out, everyone starts asking around for a pen. Be the prepared one. Bring one. Use it. Save time. Avoid that awkward pen hunting shuffle at 3 a.m. Hate turbulence? Here's a trick that pilots swear by. Book your seat over the wing. That part of the plane is more stable during flight. You'll feel fewer bumps compared to the back or nose. It's the plane's center of gravity. So next time you're choosing a seat, aim for the wing. Less shaking, more relaxing. Before you even get to the airport, download your airlines app. Why? It gives you live updates on gate changes, delays, boarding zones, and baggage info. Some even let you rebook a canceled flight instantly. No waiting in line, no customer service drama. Plus, you'll usually get your boarding pass right on your phone. More control, less chaos. Here's a hydration hack most travelers still don't use. Bring an empty reusable bottle through security. Fill it up at a fountain or bottle station near your gate. Boom, free water. No need to pay $5 for a tiny plastic bottle. And you stay hydrated without depending on tiny drink cups. Don't trust airport outlets. They're either all taken or not working. And once your phone dies, so does your access to boarding passes, directions, or ride shares. Bring a power bank. Keep it charged. It's one of the smartest things you can toss in your carry-on. Planning your trip? Search for flights in incognito or private browsing mode. Airline websites and travel platforms track your searches, and sometimes they increase prices if they think you're coming back. Incognito keeps your searches clean, and price hikes away. Clear your cookies too, just to be safe. When picking your seat, don't just guess. Use a seat map site like Seat Guru. It'll show you which seats have extra legroom, which ones don't recline, which ones are right next to the bathroom. Yikes! A few seconds of research can make your whole flight way more comfortable. Think about the last time you were stuck in an airport. What did you see? Overpriced coffee, those sad little $9 sandwiches, and enough desperation to make you want to pull your hair out, right? We've all been there. But here's the thing. Airports don't want you to know about the free stuff. We're diving deep into the matrix of airport secrets and uncovering 12 freebies that are going to blow your mind. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss the latest travel news. Let's start with one of the biggest airport ripoffs, paying for water. You step off a long flight, parched, and bam! There's a kiosk charging $5 for a bottle of water. But here's the secret. Most major airports have hidden water bottle refill stations scattered throughout the terminals. They're not always in plain sight, but trust me, they're there. Before you even leave home, pack an empty reusable water bottle in your carry-on. No need to pay outrageous prices later. Once you're through security, make it your mission to find those refill stations. They're often near restrooms, tucked away by the gates, sometimes even disguised as fancy water features. Bottom line, stay hydrated without draining your wallet. Let's be real. Airport Wi-Fi is the ultimate bait and switch. They promise you free internet, but before you know it, bam! Paywall hits after 30 minutes. It's almost like they want you bored, disconnected, and tempted to drop cash on overpriced airport distractions. But here's the thing. You don't have to play by their rules. There's a sneaky little trick to unlock unlimited airport Wi-Fi, and it all starts with one simple move: airplane mode. When your free 30 minutes are up, just switch your phone or laptop to airplane mode, wait a few seconds, then turn Wi-Fi back on. Boom! You've just reset the session, tricking the system into thinking you're a brand new user. Rinse, repeat. Enjoy unlimited internet without ever pulling out your wallet. But wait, there's more. Savvy travelers and frequent flyers share secret Wi-Fi codes online, hidden gems that unlock the holy grail of unlimited high-speed airport internet. So stay connected, dodge the paywall, and never waste a dime on airport Wi-Fi again. You just got off a 12-hour flight. You're jet-lagged, exhausted, and feeling, well, disgusting. Right now, you'd do just about anything for a hot shower. But checking into a hotel just to rinse off? That's absurd. Here's what they don't tell you. Many airports actually have free showers hidden in plain sight. Yep, places like Singapore Changi, Tokyo Narita, and Dubai International offer dedicated shower facilities in transit areas, completely free for travelers. Think of them as tiny oases of hygiene in the chaotic desert of airport madness. But what if your airport isn't one of the lucky ones? Good news, there's still a way to score a free shower. Here's the insider trick. Airline lounges. If your flight gets delayed or canceled, or you've got a brutal layover, you might be eligible for a free lounge pass. And guess what? Most lounges have pristine spa-like showers just waiting for you. Next time you're stuck at an airport, don't just sit there marinating in your own exhaustion. Find an airline rep, ask politely about a lounge pass, and freshen up like a VIP. Because sometimes a hot shower is the difference between a travel nightmare and feeling human again.